Hello and welcome to the Friday, September 8th edition of the Contributor Comms team meeting. I'm your host, Caslin Fields. And as usual, a reminder that we operate under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and attendees and generally be excellent to each other. And the cats are running all over my screen and popping things up, and that's fine.
Not distracting at all, I bet.
Not distracting at all, cats. Why do you all want to be in my space today? But to kick things off, we also like to try to offer an opportunity at the beginning of the meeting for anyone who's new to unmute and say hello, or to post in chat and say hello. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here. And it's also totally optional. You don't have to do it at all, but I will leave a minute now if anyone new would like to unmute or type in chat to tell us a little bit about yourself. All right. Think we're good to go then. Also, always welcome to do so later. Welcome, welcome.
We don't bite,
just
we
getting
promise.
started. Yeah. Definitely. All right. I didn't put any updates, big wins, or new items in the doc yet. Thank you very much to whoever created the notes for today. I appreciate that. And put in attendees. Should have done that. I missed last week, so if folks would like to give a recap, we can start with that and then dive into updates, big wins, and new items.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing from last week was the Linux repository change to packages.cates.io. At least from my perspective, that got out the door very quickly. So
yeah,
I'm actually telling folks about that in a way of like, yeah, this is how we're doing it in Kubernetes kind of thing, right? Like, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Our ability to get things done quickly if necessary is definitely good. So it's always good. And this one needed a lot of, it was a non-English speaker trying to communicate everything. So it's like, let's communicate a little less in fewer words, So yeah. Happy to help. Always happy to help in those situations, but it's always great when they come to our or tag us and say, hey, we need help with this. Please review ASAP kind of thing. So yeah, that went out. Thank you for scheduling tweets, Caslin.
Well, one. I still need to schedule another one.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can throw some stuff on there if you want. You can approve it or not. I don't care.
Yeah. Arpit, also welcome. I know you want to do more of that kind of work. Anyone really? This one is a tricky one, but you can always write tweets and we approve them. So
yeah, totally. So I think the biggest thing is just copy paste from the announcement, right? Like, yes, there's this thing that's happening, and yes, there's the outcome. But make sure you like just take the language that already is crafted. Because yeah, there was some concern about calling out certain organizations and not others, and we just want to make sure that folks understand that the thing that was is changing to the thing that is. So yeah.
Yeah, and the timeline on that, it's getting frozen very, very soon.
September 13th, I think. Yeah, real soon.
So
and I mean, even the orange banner on case.io, right? Like we helped with that language, so it's pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
What kind of cadence do we want for this? Is what I'm thinking.
I would say like we need to communicate something early next week, later in the week as well, on the day of, and then probably like I would say like 2 weeks after a reminder kind of thing. Hey, by the way,
that's a good idea.
If your packages aren't updating, this thing happened and you need to change your URLs, So yeah.
So we definitely need at least one or two after it. I think leading up to it, we could even do like daily if we wanted
Yeah, we could
to.
totally do that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I
If
mean,
anyone is particularly excited about writing tweets.
yeah, we can totally just make sure you hit it from like multiple angles, right? Like, don't say the same thing over and over again, right? Like, you could say, hey, in the first one, you could say, hey, the legacy thing's going away. It's becoming this. And then the next one, you could be like, hey, our apt and yum repositories are changing to this. It's just, mix it up a little bit. And like actually throw the URLs in that people can search their infrastructure for, give them something greppable, you know, that they can find and be like, oh, I am using this. Because I suspect a lot of people don't realize they are using it, or they're 100% on the like roll your own Kubernetes bandwagon, which is great. I feel bad if that is the case though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone can write one tweet each. Damn right. There you go.
Welcome if folks want to.
Right. Yeah, feel free. We worked very hard crafting this messaging, so as you can see, the folks that contributed to it, Bob, me, Jeremy, Marco, Tim. It was a pretty high level thing that it's like they walked in and it's like, we need to get us out the door now. And it was like last Thursday, I think, is when they came to us. I forget, but yeah.
Oh,
Not as
uh,
impactful as the registry change, but still gonna affect some percentage of users. So yeah.
use the blog post for reference material. If anyone wants to write a tweet and you don't have access to Buffer, DM me on Slack. I'll get that set up for you.
Yeah, I need to log into it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is I have two different accounts now. One for Kate's, one for me.
Interesting. You don't just have them all like on the same account where you can like swap between them?
No, because why did I do that? Oh, uh,
Reasons.
I want to say it's reasons. I never wanted to have the ability to post to Kubernetes stuff and personal stuff in the same place, right? Like I'm very, very
It's
careful
fair.
about not logging into Twitter on the mobile app because you'll start getting notifications from the Kate's contributors account and you won't realize which thing you're replying to or whatever. So yeah, I try to keep those two things separated so that no automation could fail over and post stuff in anywhere Kubernetes land.
Also, speaking of social media, I was wondering as I was working on that tweet, I have Blue Sky invites if we wanted to set up an account
Yeah,
on Blue Sky.
I do
We could also
too.
do LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We'll need to request more more money from the CNCF to do
More
these,
money for
but
sure. I would really like a LinkedIn page. I thought there was some like CNCF
there
has one.
probably
I
is
don't
something. Yeah.
know if there's a Kubernetes official one.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know.
Okay.
Um, so yeah.
But what about so LinkedIn definitely probably good if we want to pursue that.
Yeah.
Blue Sky opinions.
I for me, it's like they got to get out of beta first, right? Like it
Yeah,
can't
that's
be an
fair.
invite only thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to like plug it into Buffer or just use API calls to send
Oh
out
yeah, I think Buffer
messages.
doesn't even have it yet,
It
actually.
doesn't
I
even have
think I
support
was
for it
noticing
yet
that. Yeah.
because it is still in beta and still a closed network. So yeah, like we're kind of dependent upon either Buffer or our ability to get Zapier to post stuff into an account. So yeah, couple handcuffs there, but at least they got Mastodon up and running super fast. That was nice. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I will look into the LinkedIn thing.
yeah. I want to say we've had discussions about that in the past, and
I
I
think
think
we have.
the foundation has said please use our page in the past, but I don't know if they
Mm.
want to use like give us the keys. Yeah, Blue Sky is like the Signal app. In what way?
Like you use it to just communicate with people directly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there is a
Oh,
group of Kubernetes.
Oh,
Is
there
that
is a Kubernetes group. You're right. Look at that.
and
in
it
what,
has
LinkedIn?
quite a number. Yeah, it has quite a number.
75,000
Oh,
members.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, who owns this? How do we figure that out? You know what? I bet it's the same people that own Reddit. I'm even a member of this group. Wow. Very, very observant I am. But no. All right, I'll ask in the ContribEx channel who owns it.
Thank you, Avinash. For quickly finding that. We'll have to look into
Yeah,
that.
that is. I mean, it's great if it's somebody in the community. It'd be awesome.
I mean, I hope it is. Of course, it could be someone who was part of the community and then moved on and then it's not maintained anymore. Those kinds of things
Right.
happen all the time.
But somebody
That'll be
just
good to look
posted
into.
something 7 hours ago to it. So
All right.
yeah.
Interesting. This might be a can of worms. We'll see.
Yeah. Gosh,
If it's
yes.
not community owned, that'll be interesting to find out.
Mhm.
All right. So we'll look into that. Any other updates, big wins? I'll let you all know that I went to WasmCon for the last couple of days. It's not
How was that?
exactly related, but it was good. There were
Okay.
quite a few Kubernetes folks there. Josh was there, Nikita
Good.
was there,
Nice.
Divya and Nabarun. So both of the co-chairs of SIG ContribEx and one of the emeritus co-chairs was there. Like that says
Wow.
something
That does
about
say
the kinds
something.
of people that get involved with this group. So that was very interesting. I didn't expect to see them there. So Kubernetes people are paying attention to that. So it was kind of fun. Not exactly related to this group, but figured kind of. Don't know of anything else.
You'll cross over the chasm at some point.
Yeah. Also, sorry about the calendar invite for the last meeting getting removed. I don't know what happened there. I assume that someone else with access to the calendar knew that I was going to be out and assumed that we were not having a meeting. So I had to re-add it like while the meeting was happening. I don't know why it disappeared.
For some reason, it never disappeared for me. So,
or at least you missed the disappearance, I guess.
Yes.
Maybe it happened that morning. I don't know.
Hmm.
But so that's good. It sounds like wasn't a big issue for everyone.
No, we had a meeting.
Perfect. And did Nitish end up leading? How did that go? I didn't actually talk to you all about it.
Yeah.
Nitish was here. Oh, he disappeared. All right.
He disappeared. Yeah, no. No, he did a good job. I thought it went fine. Covered everything, that's for sure. We got done pretty quick with the doc and the board, so I'm happy. You did a good job.
Wonderful. That one reason I wanted to check in on that is because I am going to be out for technically 2 Fridays in October, 13th and the 20th.
State's resonating with me for some reason.
So if anyone particularly wants to lead those meetings, Avinash should probably be a good idea for you to lead at least one of them since you're shadowing for lead.
Yeah, lead those.
If someone wants to also lead the 27th, I will be recovering from jet lag, so that might be a good idea.
Jeez. Yeah, okay. We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
I'm going on vacation, so it's good jet lag. Yeah, I don't know if I've been over that in this group, but I'm going to Japan for vacation in October for 2.5 weeks. So I do not expect to be on the calls for at least the 13th and
I
20th.
can lead the
27th, I
second
will be
one.
back.
I can lead the second one.
Cool. Arpit also
it is
interested
okay.
in leading. Thank you. Lovely. I'm sure Nitish might also be interested. I haven't talked with him about it. But it's good that we have folks interested in helping to lead the meetings. Maybe I can sleep in more often. This point, I don't actually sleep in anyway. The cats get me up at 7 a.m. But anyway, by the way, for anyone new to the call, I do these meetings at 8 a.m. my time. So
Sorry, Caswell.
it's all good. It's kind of nice, actually. I've kind
Wow.
of grown to like it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Plus, it's always fun to hang out with everyone. Always good to see you all. I don't have any other updates, big wins. Yes, that is a good point. Thank you, Arpit, for the reminder. I literally wrote that down on my physical planner before we started the meeting and then forgot to mention it. The KubeCon schedule is out,
Yes.
which means it's time to start planning tweets.
Yay.
Schedule is out. The colo schedules, I think, haven't been posted yet. I think acceptances already went out, but I don't think the schedules are probably up yet. But we usually don't really talk about the colos anyway.
Right.
We might talk about them a little bit. Maybe we should, but no, mainly we talk about the maintainer track at mainline KubeCon, which that schedule is out. I guess I can go over that real quick for everyone.
Yeah, why not? Maybe.
That sound good?
Yeah.
Go ahead and do the overview of KubeCon tweet project, the KubeCon tweet project. So this is a project that we do every time there's a KubeCon. We do KubeCon tweets. Sorry, let me grab a tab here and find that real quick. This is a project that's open to anyone who wants to contribute to it. We try to make it as easy as possible for folks unfamiliar with the group to contribute. Nitish and Sujay both helped me last time with some of the management aspects of it. Arpit is going to help me with management of it this time. Nitish as well. I think maybe one other person also mentioned interest in helping with management of it, which is wonderful. It's one of our kind of big projects, so it is a long-running project and it has a actual significant amount of process to it. So here's the doc. Let me grab that link and share it with everyone. Copy link. New data extraction. Got it. Okay. I'm going to put this link in the chat. I'm going to toss this link into the notes real quick. Ready to begin. I'm very excited for folks to help with this. So the first page of this doc is some basic instructions that no one reads. But they are there for anyone who would like to read them. They could probably also use updates at this point. Who knows? Yeah. We also have, I should probably put example in front of these. So each KubeCon that we've done this for is here for your reference. And I haven't created a new tab yet. I have a comment in this one somewhere. I'll find that later. I'm going to go ahead and create a new tab for KubeCon NA 2023. Woo! And essentially, what we'll need to do there is go through. Is this one the best example? Yeah, probably. Ooh, I like this one. I like this one. I'm going to show off with this one. So I usually color code it by day. And we're going to plan out basically all of the tweets that we will send out during KubeCon. So there is, at the beginning, this will be a blank space for whoever wants to claim this to write the tweet. The main thing that the folks helping me with managing this will need to do is to fill out the description of all of the different tweets that we need to write. So this involves going through the schedule and figuring out what we want to talk about. Of course, at the beginning of the event, it's mainly like a general reminder that KubeCon is starting. And I like to send out information about when registration is open. And a reminder that the Contributor Summit and Colos will be happening before the main event. Granted, also nobody understands how that works. And then the day of the Colos, in this year's case, the Colos and the Contributor Summit will be happening at the same time. So we'll be posting mainly about the Contributor Summit on that day. That'll be Monday of the conference. I'll also change buffer, by the way, during the week of KubeCon to the time zone of KubeCon. And also while we're scheduling these, I'll get to that in a minute.
Very important detail, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important. It's one of the hardest things. I might as well talk about it now. One of the hardest things about this is the time zones. So
yeah,
I
buffer has a
usually,
certain time zone set right now, and it's America, Los Angeles time because everything in the project's been Pacific. But when we go to EU or go to Chicago, we need to kind of align to those time zones.
because that's where a lot of contributors will be. So it makes sense to send those out in those time zones.
Yeah, and it's only off by 1 for me, so it's like it's a lot of work for 1 hour.
Of course, we always have folks in many time zones, so we try to kind of, at least when I'm scheduling social media posts and stuff, I try to like spread them out so they make sense in time zones, but I don't like change the time zone of the thing, just kind of work with it. But with KubeCon, it's like, this is the time zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
it worked well last time. I know that. Lots of folks on. So it's good stuff.
Good. So we'll write out these descriptions. So some of these are KubeCon begins, reminder about day 0 Colo events, registrations open. Also reminders for things that'll be happening later in the week of KubeCon. So this is a reminder for the SIG meet and greet, which will be happening much later. The reason I wanted to show this one, which is KubeCon EU 2022, is that I put what day these things are happening on. So like this is a SIG meet and greet reminder, but the SIG meet and greet is happening on May 20th. But we're sending it out. This next column here is when we want the tweet to actually go out. It would have gone out at May 16th at 1300, the local time of the conference, which in this case was Central European Standard Time. I also have this fits in a tweet column. That is for when, so we open this up to anyone once we get this sheet filled out with the descriptions of like, these are all the tweets we want. This column will be blank. We'll start sharing it with people and saying, hey, if you want to write a tweet for us for KubeCon, just put your name in the owner part and fill that out by, we should pick a deadline for people to write their tweets by. And then once they've written their tweet, because tweets have a limit, I like to make sure that it fits in the tweet in case it needs rewriting before we actually schedule it. I don't always use this column, but it's something for me when I manage this, when I'm like putting them into the tools. So if you find it useful, if you're one of the folks who's going to help me manage the tweet project, you're welcome to use that. I also have this column, which I think in future ones I have changed the name of to local time, because before I did the changing buffer to the local time zone of KubeCon thing, I had to like translate it into Pacific time. And it was
doing that with a spreadsheet is not fun.
It was not good. So you probably won't need the owner's local time column unless it helps you as you're writing tweets or anything. It is there for your use, but you probably won't need it. And then for the folks who are helping me manage this, the other column in here is scheduled, which will all be no at the beginning. And it's for when you're going through and actually putting these tweets into Buffer, saying, yeah, I already did that one. Cool. So the goal of this is to help us coordinate work and also to make it really easy for anyone who wants to write a tweet about KubeCon to say, oh, here's what the tweet needs to be about. I can write that and kind of just pick it up really easily. And like I said, most of the tweets that we'll do for like the main days, we'll do keynote reminders each day, and then we'll do maintainer track blocks. So on the schedule, you'll see that there is a time when sessions are going to be happening, and there will be several sessions happening at that time. So that's how I usually break up the posts about it, is I figure out what sessions are happening at a particular time and write a post that's like, these are the topics that are going to be happening at this time. And then I send that out like, I don't know, an hour or 30 minutes before or something. I think I change it each year. Those are the basics. It's a lot to pick up in one sitting. Any questions right now for those who are managing? We'll talk more about this later, but any questions right now? Welcome to ask at any time. And for folks who are new, who are looking for opportunities to contribute, we'll get this set up in the next week or two. Arpit, you've been doing a great job, so I bet we'll get this set up pretty quick.
I have a question, like, are we going to have a separate meet for this, or like we are going to do it asynchronously?
Mostly I usually do it asynchronously, but if you want to meet up about it, I'm up for that.
Yeah.
We could talk about
Same.
it after this call more if you want to, because we should probably sync on election comms as well.
Yeah, I have an update for it.
Perfect. We'll sync on that after this call. Also, by the way, the steering committee election is still going on. For anyone who's an org member, you might be eligible to vote. You're probably eligible to vote. If you're not, you're welcome to file an exception. So do check out the steering election for anyone who is involved in the community enough to care. Cool. So we'll start sending out stuff about this in the next week or two, probably, for anyone who wants to contribute, but doesn't want to manage the whole process. Welcome to break in with questions about that at any point. And I think that's probably it for updates, big wins. Last call. And we have one item in new items from Avinash. You need to review on something?
Yeah. So it's a PR of updation of owner's file for contributor tweets.
Yes.
Sujay into it.
Wonderful. Which repo is this? Contributor tweets. It looks great. I am not signed in. That's not helpful. Let me see if I'm logged in on my work profile and see if I can give that an LGTM real quick. If not, then Chris, if you want to do it, or any of the other approvers that are on the call.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not logged
hang
in
on.
right now, so I'll have to do that later.
What am I approving? The owner's thing? Okay.
Owner's file update.
Got it. Thank you.
Put it in the chat. If you would
Oh.
LGTM and improve that, I would appreciate it.
You got it.
It looks good to me. Thank you very much, Avinash, for going through and doing that. Such a small thing, but it can be so hard to get done.
I know. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Avinash. All right. With that, last call for updates, big wins, and new items. I say last call, but really you can break in at any time, but last call. All right. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the board. Oh, that's nice. Chris posted in our ContribComs channel.
Oh yeah, sorry. I forgot to mention that. While I was in here tinkering with Buffer, writing these tweets and such, they have an AI tool in there now under the create section, and I just typed in kind of what we do and who to target, and it spit out that blurb about our group, which is
That's
like
beautiful.
It's a beautiful blurb, right? Like maybe we should use this more often somehow, right? Like I don't know how good it is at technical content, but that was really nice. Just a quick dink dunk dupe kind of deal, right? Like
I've found AI tools really useful for some writing help recently.
yes, me too.
They're uncomfortably good at it, actually.
Well, and here's the thing, they're great at kind of handling the boilerplate. You know, connecting the dots is up to you, but it helps in the phrasing of those connecting of the dots.
Really nice for the initial like brainstorming section of writing. I asked it recently for some like brainstorming ideas of like, I need to write something about this. What would be a good title? Brainstorm some titles for me. It gave me several and they were really good.
I've had it summarize articles for me. That's kind of nice.
Yeah. As Avinash reminds us in the chat, like
don't
use it directly.
Actually do the whole thing with ChatGPT and ship it. Just don't do that. That will end poorly for you.
Yeah, but it's a great like brainstorming and
for me it's a learning
tool.
Yeah, for me it's a learning tool, more like a mentor to me. Like you ask and they answer the questions.
Right.
You don't need to scrap internet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like
and then you can go look it up, but it gave you a place to start.
Yeah,
it seems really useful for that.
I've actually coded a couple programs almost 100% by like I've broken out the functions and just be like, write me a function to do this and go. Write me a function to do this and go, and like just glue it all together and then say, okay, make this all work together, and it just fixes it. It's crazy.
I'm really excited about that. I should try that.
Yeah, like I've
fun.
made a certificate checking tool, and it's like basically just 5 times easier than curl. Because you don't have to learn curl at all. You just run this tool, and yeah, I made that completely with ChatGPT. That's crazy to me, but awesome at the same time.
I have ideas for a weekend project.
It'll help. Trust me, it's pretty cool.
Also, for the sake of the call, I'm going to read the little blurb that we were talking about aloud.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, all good. It just occurred to me like YouTube's not going to be able to find this. So I'll read it out loud. The thing that Buffer spit out about our group is learn about the innovative open.
Want me to do it?
No, I got this.
Okay. You got it.
I'm going to get it.
In you.
Thank you. Learn about the innovative open source contribution from I said contribution, not contributions. This is how recording things goes.
Yes.
So everybody knows. One more time. Yes, also 8 a.m. Thank you. I appreciate that excuse for my failure. Learn about the innovative open source contributions from Kubernetes contributors that are transforming the cloud-native landscape for developers, systems engineers, DevOps, and cloud-native professionals.
Really
just
good.
have to say it slow enough.
I forgot to say SRE in there too, but that's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah. All it asked was like a description of what you are and the people you want to reach. Spit that out. That's pretty damn good, I would say. So yeah, if we ever need any rah-rah tweets to just kind of fill space or anything, totally suggest using that.
Yeah, I think we should go ahead and do that. Just like draft up a tweet that's like, I think we should mention that it was made by AI. We tried out an AI tool to describe our team. Cool. And this is what it said. We think it's great. Just like post that. No opinions about like AI itself, but like it did a good thing for us here.
Thing designed to do thing did good.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right.
Probably say that there is a new contributor to our team.
Yeah, new contributor to our team. It's AI.
Little did you know it's been there the whole time. No.
Also, we haven't started with the board yet. I see that FICA is on now, which reminds me about the last week in Kubernetes development work that's been going
Yes.
on in Slack, which I'm
That
really
has been
excited about.
so cool to see, right? Like I love it. It's great. It's fantastic.
So
Thank you
well,
very
I'm
much.
actually finding it very interesting. LWKT. I'm getting to work with KEPs. I'm getting to work with the release team. So many parts of the project just through LWKT. And right now, I'm even working to bring something new with LWKT, like not just summarizing the KEP, but also bringing in the authors and asking them why, what changes does it make in people's life, in the people, for the people who are actually working on those pods and the stuff like that. So it's something really, really exciting. And we're actually enjoying it now. We communicate through the SIG ContribEx comms channel, but I think we'll be switching it to a different channel because there's a lot of communication in that aspect.
Hmm.
Does LWKT
Also-
comes under SIG ContribEx as a sub project?
But no, for context on this, I was actually going to do that. We have discussed last week in Kubernetes development being part of our group, but it's never actually happened.
Right.
So it being in the contributor comms sub project is something that we have intended to happen for a while.
Or just it being
So-
like under the purview of or under the assistance of kind of thing. Yeah.
Our
Like I
group,
know it's its
yeah.
own sub project kind of deal in the GitHub org.
Is it?
Yeah. Like it's
Oh,
under
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
Kubernetes. Yeah. It's pretty
Ah.
cool. Yeah. But like opening up to a channel with more than just the initial contributors, I think is a very smart idea because there's people in that channel that are like, oh, I could help with that sometimes. And
Yeah.
there is an advantage to keeping it in a bigger audience channel, right? Like you'll get more contributors, but you might also get some stuff you don't want to. So there's probably
I
more
think there's
ups and
not
down
much
there.
awareness about LWKT because it's such an interesting project to work upon. If people comes to know, they'll definitely want to contribute to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
think-
actually sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think it's lovely to use the channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I've actually been talking about how our group has become somewhat of a recruiting tool for the project to get new members in, and then they go and do great things elsewhere. I've been bragging about y'all quite a bit lately, so y'all are doing great stuff.
I'm an example
seriously.
of it. I started from here.
I just put a reply on Josh Burkis's post about that and mentioned that we are happy for that
Oh,
to be in
yeah.
our channel.
Totally. Thanks. Let me respond
Yes.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah. I pinged you on it or tagged you on it. And also one other person was working on it, but it looks like that's not someone who's usually on our calls. But
Code Ranger? No. But they're good. to go.
no, Sriram? That's Sriram.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's right.
Sriram Venkatesh.
I've seen them around.
And Code Ranger is in here too, but Code Ranger also not usually on our, our calls, but wonderful. I'm so excited that you're having fun learning about it and doing stuff with it. We were talking about how to do news, which is something that I've been trying to learn as well. So we'll learn it together. Figuring out news for like newsletters and for the
You can
podcast
list
is what I
down
do it
to-
for us.
Yeah, you listed to me a lot of sources from where I can find those news. You can list that down here because it's such a great source of help to me. Just went across through all those websites and stuff that you sent me. You can list that here.
Wonderful. Yeah. I can grab that. I inherited it. I did not create that list either. But when we inherited the podcast, there was a whole list of news resources that we use. I'll put it in the chat for now. Like, oops. Yeah, it's quite long, but those are some of the places that we check for news for the Kubernetes podcast.
Yeah. It's on my
We
short
don't use
list
all of them every week, but
No.
yeah.
No, you can't.
Chris is much more experienced with this than I am.
I mean, we like there were, how do I phrase this? Like I built a website just for Kubernetes newsletters, and it is definitely at the top of the list, I feel like.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's literally cubenews.net list.
We should add that to the list. It's not on here. I don't know.
Well, all it is a link to a bunch of other sites. So yeah.
Yeah, which is useful.
But yeah, it links to your podcast and last
Thank
week in Kubernetes development, the new stack, you know.
By the way, I did a bunch of interviews at WasmCon, so one of our future episodes will be on that. It'll be fun.
Nice.
All right. So thank you very much for the work you're doing on last week in Kubernetes development, Fika. If you need any help or if you want to talk with us about it, we are more than happy to do so. Yeah. There we go. Cool. We do have less than 15 minutes left, so I should probably actually run through the board real quick. Frederico, by the way, posted his updates in the channel if anyone needs those. All right, let's do the board. And I don't have my GitHub logged in, so I won't be able to do these reviews real quick.
Hang on.
But yeah, Chris. Help, please.
Okay. Yeah.
Also Avinash and all the other leads.
Yeah, I mean, I can share screen if you want. You can just tag me.
Well, I'll open these up and go through them, but
cool.
if you would like to review them as we go through, if you think they're ready for approval or anything, do that. Oh, yes, another great call out, Nitish. Thank you for mentioning that. Congratulations to Fika and Nitish. Both of you got LFX internships, right?
Yeah.
That's what those are called.
We're taking SIG ContribEx comms to the global level.
That's awesome. That is so
Love
cool.
it.
I am. Y'all are awesome.
We're so excited for you. Hope you have a lot of fun. Fika, you're going to be working on Istio, right? And Nitish, what was your?
I will be working with the release engineering team for the creating a Golang library to interact with open build services.
Which makes a lot of sense with the work you've been doing.
Yes, it's amazing.
True.
Yay! Congratulations!
Awesome. Congrats, y'all. That's really great.
Yeah. All right, I guess I'll get back to the board real quick. Improve shadow requirements for blogging lead. This has been open for a while. I think Frederico had made the updates. Oh no, I've left this open for a month.
Whoops.
Oops.
Oh, that's kind of my oops too. Wait, is he done with it?
I think so. I had suggested some edits and he made those edits. I think it's good to go.
It's already got an approved label.
Does it?
Oh, it's got a hold on it. That's why.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I had approved it because it looked good, but he did it in a different way than I had intended for him to do it. And so he fixed that.
All right.
I
would say
because I thought he said that I thought he meant that he was going to like put in this commit and then do another commit to fix those things, which I was like, that's totally cool because this is great too. But then he was like, no, I'm going to do it in this one. And I was like, oh, I will hold.
Yeah.
So at this point, it should be ready for an unhold and LGTM approve. It is kind of long, so it might take you a little bit to read through it. If you don't want to read it through right now, that's fine.
I mean, I trust y'all's judgment enough to just do it. But
yeah,
I've read this
pretty
before.
sure it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be cool with that. This one is merged, which is update the contributor comms team. Thank you, Avinash, for doing that. I think this was merged a while ago, wasn't it? Last week? Oh, last week. I wasn't on last week.
You closed that one, sorry.
Wonderful. Good stuff. So this is good to be moved to done, right? Any lingering items on this?
Just got a weird error from GitHub.
Fun.
Yeah. Okay. It told me it couldn't leave a comment, but I just left a comment. That's weird. Okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
I'm going to move that merged one over to done. Thank you,
Thank
Avinash, and to all of the folks who contributed to that. Or I can't because I'm not logged in.
I'm getting it for you. Hang on.
Dang
The
it.
blogging one is done. The update org team is done. All right. SIG release blog 1. If you hit refresh, it'll
Thank you. All right. So many fewer things ready for review.
yeah.
The update owners files. One of these is in, which you were just approving. I don't
Yeah,
see it
that's
in
done.
here. We should probably put it in here. This is
Yeah.
just like a update all the owners files thing. We should put the actual issue in here.
Yes.
I'm just gonna put it on my thing to make sure that board is updated later. Update. Not that I will get to that, but I will try. And then the last thing in here is add SIG architecture conformance spotlight interview, which Federico updated us about in Slack as well. So if you want updates on that, check that out. Don't think there's anything. I think this is probably just an FYI
It
at the
still
moment.
says a work in progress at the top, so I'm going to trust
Yeah.
that.
I think it's, a work in progress. All right, less than 10 minutes in progress. Item SIG architecture spotlight. We just did an update on that. SIG testing spotlight, which is Sandipan. Is Sandipan still on?
Yes, I am still awaiting response on that.
Awaiting response. How did I do this? Oh yeah. I can't update things, but that status is good anyway. There we go. All right. Thank you, Sandipan. Let us know if you need any help. Federico has this one going on with the book reading club. Bob had asked a question about the book reading club being CNCF focused or Kubernetes focused. It was originally Kubernetes focused, but it recently moved into the CNCF book reading club Slack. So Federico was asking them about that. That's the status on that one, as far as I know. Add all use cases for Zapier automation. That's kind of an evergreen check-in, which I don't think we probably need right now.
No, I'm trying to get a meeting together, but Nigel's been a little hard to get a hold of, so it's fine.
He is also helping to lead the contributor summit. He's got plenty of stuff going on.
Got a lot going on, yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like I feel like, dude, whenever you get a free time, just like call me or something, you know?
Yeah.
I might just reach out and say, I know we're trying to get a bunch of us together, but if we could just figure out, what needs to be done, we'll go do it. We can break that work up for sure.
And RPIT on Signode. Any updates? I see that you had an update last week, which was here.
So
anything else?
I actually posted a message on the Slack regarding the Signode, but it is awaiting response.
Okay. Awaiting response. I think it's fine that I can't update that. We'll check in on it again next week. Subproject lead shadow requirements, still something that me, Chris, and Avinash need to get together on. I've been out for the last 2 weeks, basically. Sorry about that. Tech lead shadow requirements for Sujay to do whenever he feels ready to do that. Steering election comms as needed. Arpit and I will sync on that after this if you have time. I have time. So social media lead shadow requirements I also still need to do.
I think we both need to kind of chime in on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Arpit has been really helpful with social media stuff lately, so I feel like we'll be able to actually come up with something. Arpit, I might want your help actually as we go through that. Because he's working toward being a lead. So that's good. Spotlight on the contributor summit. That's Federico thing. So he'll have updates if he has any in Slack, and fix the Slack announcement bot maybe someday. Sanjay will figure that out.
No. The announcement bot's fixed, I thought.
I think we did fix that actually. Images specifically.
Oh,
Images in Slack announcement.
never
Yeah,
mind.
that is merged.
In the doc. Is that merged? Initial PR, fixed PR.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that is merged.
Cool.
Wonderful. So is that all working now? I haven't checked in on it.
I believe someone used it a couple weeks ago, I think, after one of our meetings.
Nice.
I
And the
mean,
doc looks good. That's the main question, I guess.
yes. I don't know.
In order to check that, I'm gonna have to go all the way through community, communication, contributor comms, automation. Exciting that we have that now. And go to the MD file. Yep, that looks like it's good. Thank you very much. And I would move that to done, but I won't because I don't have access. Worst case, it'll get moved next week.
Wait, which one is it? Sorry.
The
Tech
bottom
lead?
of the in progress column, fix Slack,
Got it,
Slack
got it,
announcement bot images.
Done.
Cool. And we have 4 minutes left for the to-do column, which I don't think there's anything new in. Just the tweets. Actually, the tweets in the
yeah.
to-do column needs to be moved to in progress. If you could do that, Chris.
The in progress searching.
Yes.
I'll put it at the bottom, I guess, for now.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Cool.
Any updates on the new contributor workshop content that you've heard?
Not that I've
Kinda
heard.
out of it.
I think
We should hopefully have something on that in the next 2 months.
yeah. There's some mechanics that need to happen, right? Like we don't allow like GitHub Actions in KK, for example. So we've got to figure out how to put this in a separate repo that can use GitHub Actions and code spaces and all this other stuff while still interfacing with the Kubernetes repo. So yeah.
Tricky.
It's not quite simple, I would say.
All right. And that is the board. So that's our main agenda for today. We have 3 minutes left. Any questions, comments, concerns that folks want to talk about in the last 3 minutes before we say goodbye to our friends on YouTube?
I just wanted to ask one thing. I think I'm not sure if SIG release blog was discussed. There was internet connection, so I
Did I miss
had to
that?
leave. Yep.
I might have missed that.
Yeah, no, it's right there.
It's
blog
there and ready
one.
for review.
Is it ready for it?
Oh,
It is
yeah.
now.
Exactly. So the reviews have been mentioned on the PR itself. So I'll go through the changes and make some changes as well. Other than that, for the release engineering subproject, I'm still in talk with Marco and other release engineering managers, and probably I'll be spending some more time, and then I'll be crafting the questions as well, because kind of like that. Yeah.
Wonderful. So that's the second blog, right? The first blog about the first release subproject, the release team, is ready for review, and the next one about release engineering is just starting it.
Yep.
Did I summarize that right? Cool.
Exactly.
We should probably add a different block on the board for the release engineering one, but I can't do that right now. I'm gonna write that down, and I'm gonna have no idea what that means after this meeting. But if we don't fix it this week, we'll fix it next week. Thank you for the updates. So the release team one, though, ready for review in HackMD. It should be mostly reviewed. You're probably going to move on with that in the next day or so, right? Guessing.
No. What I want to say is that the PR has been raised.
Okay.
So the comments are under that.
Cool. I think I started to review that and never got all the way through it, so I might check on the PR, but I'm sure it's great. We talked about it a bit anyway. All right. And we are now at the top of the hour. So unless there's any other important items that folks want to have recorded for posterity on YouTube. Going once. All right. As soon as I stop the recording, there will be something, but that's fine. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm going to stop the recording now. Bye, YouTube.